I was listening to a great audio series today, and it was talking about how we talk to ourselves. And one of the things that Mr. Tony Robbins talked about in the audio series was about congruency. And I loved the concept, what he was talking about. And again, I usually relate everything back to ACN, and I realized that there is a congruency that you have or you do not have when you're building this business or any business at all. So if your business is about new customers coming in, but you do not do the things to create new customers coming in, then to say I want financial independence or I want to have the ability to work from home full time, or I want to make an extra $5,000 a month or $2,000, whatever you think, whatever the goal is that you laid out, if you do not do the things that are required to achieve the goal, then that is non-congruency. And you could tell when things are not congruent because effort doesn't matter. So if I believe that I'm going to be successful in something and I put forth the effort in that thing, I will probably be successful in that something. If I doubt if I'm going to be successful in that something and I put forth effort anyway, I will probably not yield the results. Now you may be thinking, but how does that work? Well, because my mind is not in harmonic convergence and congruency with my effort. So you ever see somebody that they do something and they just don't get a result and they don't know why they're not getting a result, but you talk to them further and you realize that mentally they were never really into the thing that they were doing. And because of that, it doesn't work out. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what I'm saying to you, everyone that's on the line right now, is you have to be in congruency. You have to know what you want, be excited about it, and then do the work that is required to be successful. So, okay, we build a team of people that acquire customers, okay? That's what we do. We personally acquire customers ourselves, all right? We also promote events for people to get trained, especially the international training event, so that they will understand what they're doing. And number 4, we look to identify people, and we personally ourselves duplicate the process. Because that 4th one is where you become a leader in it. Now, that is, without doubt, the absolute way that you and our business grow the business. That's it. That is, there's no secret. There's no secret. However, if I do not perform any of those previous 3 functions, the first 3 that I mentioned, I cannot duplicate and become a leader in a truth. Now, take it for what it is. It doesn't mean that person's a bad person. That's not what it means. What it means is these are principles. Process promotes people. If you follow the process, if you stay with the principles of the process, these principles are unfailing. These principles don't matter. It doesn't matter if you're Democratic, if you're Republican, it doesn't matter if you praise Jesus, praise Allah. And these business principles don't change and show no favoritism. And the only time that people in the arena sit upset is because they think that who they are is why they should get what they want. Let me tell you something. Every business has principles. A quarterback's responsibility is to receive the ball when it's hiked to them, then release the ball into the hands of a receiver and move the ball down the field for a touchdown. If a quarterback does not do that, they could be a great family person, they could be a great friend, they could be a great leader in their church, but that doesn't matter. They will get cut from the team. Why? Because the process is what promotes the quarterback, not the quarterback being a good person. You see, in our business, it's the process and the principle. The process and the principles will succeed you and have you move through the compensation plan. Now that you know that, some of you are thinking, okay, Okay, I got it. Okay. So if it's the process that promotes you, then the more congruent I am to that process, I'm going to get promoted. You know, if you're playing baseball and you're really, really fast and you hit the ball and you go tearing off down to the first base, but you're so fast you miss second base, it doesn't matter if you completed if you went all the way around to home. That doesn't matter. They're going to say, sorry, that doesn't count. Why? You didn't touch second plate. If I touch first plate, but I never touch second, it doesn't matter if I'm the fastest runner on the baseball field. So everything has a process, and the process cannot be skipped. You cannot jump around it. You cannot avoid it. That's just the way it is. And to think that there's a way around it is just not mature. So you may say you're stronger at something than something else. That's okay. I promise you, there are people who do things that are stronger at something than something else. But you have to attack your lack. Where are you lacking? Are you not really great at customer acquisition? Well, probably the only reason why you're not great at customer acquisition is because you don't attempt to acquire customers. Because you think you're not great at customer acquisition, you don't attempt to acquire customers. And because you don't attempt to acquire customers, you're not great at customer acquisition. You see, you don't get customers because you think that you're not great at it. But the reason you're not great at it is because you don't go out and attempt to get customers. You see, that's how it works out. You may think, well, I'm not great at recruiting. The only reason you're not great at recruiting is because you don't recruit. Because if you recruited, you get better at recruiting, and then one day people say, wow, you're really great at recruiting. You may think, I'm not really great at getting people to the events, Saturday trainings, the international events, regional events. You're absolutely right. Because whatever you don't do, you cannot grow that muscle. Think about whatever muscle you've never worked on, how can it grow? There's no way it could grow. One of the hardest exercises in the world for people is to hold their hands just above their heads for a long period of time. Why? Because when you hold your hands above your heads for a long period of time, that's an unnatural motion for you. Your arms are always down. So when you go to hold your hands above your head, just do it. See how long before you start getting that little burn sensation in your shoulders. Why? Because it's not a normal motion for you. Those are weak muscles. Those are weak muscles. So whatever muscles you don't exercise, you will not grow. And people, you have to understand this, everybody, there's no reason to try and avoid the thing that will grow the muscle. You just have to do the thing and grow the muscle. You've got to be not great at something before you get great at it. Let me tell you something. Every one of the leaders on the line that has acquired over 100 customers at one point was not really great at getting customers. Every leader on the line that has built a large team was once not great at building a team. Every leader on the line that has gotten people to come to international training events was once a person who went by themselves or maybe brought a couple of people. You see, but the thing is, what you do with consistency, you will create congruency. Congruency and consistency are one and the same. If I'm going to be congruent in something, it's because I've habitualized it as being part of my life. And so what I'm saying to all of you today is this. You cannot avoid the process. You cannot avoid the principles. So you have to make a choice. You have to submit to the principles or give up the possibility. That's it. You have to submit to the principles. You have to submit to the process. Now, what does submitting mean? When you submit to something, it simply means that you give in. You say, okay. It doesn't mean you give up. That's not submission. It means, in this case, what we're talking about right now, you let it go. Like, okay, I have to do that. That's what I have to do. Like, I get it. I can't move there until I do this. So let me just do this because that's the way it is. It's accepting. It's accepting what it is. That is the way that it is. Like, that is what it is. I have to acquire customers because I'm building a company. I know I may not be the best at it today, but if I don't practice it and get better at it, I can't build a company. I have to build a team. Why? If I say I want to be a regional vice president, and to be a regional vice president requires a team, then I have to build a team. Now, I could sit and agonize over it, or I could just do it. But you have to understand, whatever you skip is the runner, is the baseball player who had an amazing play. They hit the ball into the far right corner. They're tearing off. It should be a home run, but they missed a base. And because the base was missed, it doesn't count. They could have been sprinting at like Usain Bolt speed. It doesn't count. The process cannot be negotiated. The principles cannot be negotiated. There is no way around it. It just is what it is. And the people that win the most in our company are the people that submit the fastest in our company. Simple. Simple. The people that win the most in our company are the people that submit to the process the fastest. That's it. That's it. I've noticed something about myself. I've noticed that whenever I'm struggling, I haven't submitted. You only struggle when you don't submit. Struggle is just a function of non-submission. Like, when I submit it's the best feeling in the world, because you know what? You've relieved yourself from all of the, well, what if, how am I going to? No, let me tell you something. 99.9% of you have acquired a customer, even yourself. Probably most of you have started building your team. So if the international training event is a step in the process, and not just a step, is the most significant step in the process, then therefore, by definition, me missing that step is me acknowledging that I choose not to succeed in the business. You cannot have money at retirement that you do not put into an account to invest and have grow. You could work for 50 years, and you could say, well, you know what? I worked at XYZ Corp for 50 years. Where's my money? And they will say, did you vest yourself into your pension plan? Well, no, I had bills to pay. Well, then, I'm sorry, there's no money. And you can be mad. You can be mad, but you cannot get a return on that which you've not invested. How could you possibly get something you've never given? Until you commit into the thing cannot commit back to you. And so if you commit to building the team, you commit to building the customer base, but you don't commit to building yourself, well, that is a house of cards. Because money follows growth, and growth comes at the international training event. You've got to be with us at the international training event in order to understand what you have your hands on. Because how could you lead a team if you can't lead yourself? How could you lead yourself to financial independence when you cannot free your mind enough to get across the country? Now, you may say money's tight. Money's never tight. It may be tight for you, but it's never tight. It's only tight for you because of previous decisions around money. But if you make new decisions around money, then you grow new muscles. Here's one decision that most people don't make, that they need to make. You have to know when to invest in yourself. You have to know when you have more value than your bill. You have to know when you have more value than people who need money from you. There's a time in your life where your money needs to go to you, Incorporated, not them, Incorporated. To go to my national event, I didn't pay bills to go to my national event. People thought I was crazy. They said, you ruined your credit. It doesn't matter if I ruin my credit if I make more money and I build my credit. You see, they were thinking about fear. I'm thinking about what's possible. You see, you have to look at yourself and think, where do you operate from? What's possible or what is now? What is now is based on the processes you followed up until now. But if you want to create a new life, incorporate new processes. The international training event will change your life. It will be the thing that will change your life forever. But you have to make the choice today to follow the entire process, to follow the principles that have been proven for 26 years. We build a team of people to acquire customers. We personally acquire customers ourselves. We promote events for people to get the training and to see the higher vision of the company, and we duplicate that personally and with our team. That will never change. It won't change if you like it. It won't change if you don't like it. It won't change if you agree. It won't change if you don't agree. The sky will be above your head. Whether you like the stars or not, they will shine. The earth will be beneath your feet. Whether you believe in gravity, it is real. These things are real. These things do not change. And whoever makes the choice to just give in and go all in, you will walk that stage. And one day you'll think to yourself, wow, how did I get up there? And people say to you, what was the secret? What did you do? And you'll say, I did what they told me to do. Instead of resisting and giving an opinion, I did what they told me to do. Instead of telling them what I wanted to do or I didn't want to do, I did what they told me to do. They told me to have a meeting, I had it. They told me to get customers, I did it. I did what they told me to do. And everybody else who wants to argue success, haggle at success, negotiate at success, give their own principles, create their own process, when they don't win, they look at you like you're amazing. And it is amazing that you did what you were told to do. Well, we're telling you, get customers, build a team of people that get customers, go to training at the international training event, your local trainings, and duplicate the process. That's what we're telling you to do. Now, do that, don't do that, the results will show in time. But those of you that follow the process, one day you're going to look up, you're going to say, my God, look at what's happened for myself and for my family. The greatest day is the day you realize that the work you put in has rewarded you because you followed the process, you followed the principles, these things are non-negotiable, and you're winning.